Ashley found the perfect breeder and picked just the right dachshund. 6 weeks later, Scooter joined us, March of 2007. Rowdy, my wonderful mutt from college, was not too happy about this addition to the family and would not even acknowledge the new puppy for several weeks. He eventually figured out that the wiener dog was here to stay and decided to make the best of it. Ashley and I almost cried the first time they played together. Scooter became an integral part of the family, and this is where the fun begins. We did not fully understand the wide world of wiener dogs when we decided to get one. It wasn't until we were living with the wiener dog that we discovered wiener dog races. A few YouTube videos later and we were hooked. One of the biggest races is held in Buda, Texas, just outside of Austin. So Ashley and I planned a trip for the upcoming summer. Scooter was just over a year old and ready for some fun. We weren't sure if she could race or not, but we packed up the car and headed south. We thought we had a good idea of what it would be like when we got there. Boy, were we wrong. The races are hilarious. The racetrack, I guess you could call it, is probably 100 feet long, with starting chutes at one end with a straight shot to the finish line. It takes 2 people per dog to run the race. One person shoves the wiener dog into the back of the chute, the other person stands at the finish line calling their dog to run to them. This all sounds pretty straightforward. In theory, you load 6 dogs, the gate drops, and the dogs run to their owners. Whichever dog is the fastest wins. In practice, however, it is much different. The gate drops and 6 grown adults are yelling whatever goofy name they named their dog, Fluffy or Snookums, and squeaking the dog's favorite toy, or clapping or whatever else they feel necessary. Why all this commotion? Well, wiener dogs are very inquisitive by nature, and they typically do what they want, not what you want them to do. So the gate drops and chaos ensues. You can immediately tell the difference between the amateurs and the trained dogs. When the gate drops, the trained dogs immediately dart to the end where their owner is standing. The amateurs typically run about 10 feet down the track and stop. This is the point that the dogs realize that 1, there are other dogs around them, and 2, there are 100 people lined up along the fence. The dogs make a beeline to whichever interests them most. Either the other dogs or other people, but not their owner. Most of the dogs get wrangled pretty quickly, but I saw one daft pooch outsmart and outrun 6 grown adults for 2 full minutes before they got a leash on him. But the races were only part of the festivities. It wasn't until we got there that we learned there were costume contests and food and all sorts of fun. It was also nice to realize that all those weird noises and actions our little Scooter made were not just her. Every wiener dog there had a distinct personality and made funny noises or did funny things. We did not have the needed shots records to actually race Scooter, so we just observed the races and walked through the vendors. It was a warm day and Scooter and Rowdy eventually got tired. We knew Scooter was done when she laid down under a table of t-shirts to get some shade. Ashley wound up having to carry her for a while so she could rest. We had a blast that year and planned to go back at some point. I wanted to set up a practice chute in the backyard and do some training beforehand, but Scooter is older now and is a little rounder than she used to be, so I don't know if we'll ever actually race. At least there's a costume contest to consider.